Bibi, thank you for the introduction and welcome everyone. If I'm echoing a bit, please forgive me. I'm in the zone. Now we want, as Coach Bibi said, when it's not, this is not. I have a lot of information to pass across, but it's not going to be on this program. I want us to have a conversation. I want us to talk about character because we want to define one key thing we call character, and then let's see how it connects with every other aspect of your life. So define character, look at character. So when you hear the word character, what does that mean? When you hear the word character, and I want you to go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us, what does character mean for you? Remember, Coach Bibi said it's an open conversation today. So
yeah, Coach, I'm going to be a student.
Okay.
I'm going to be wearing my student cap and my moderator cap at the same time. So anytime you say something, I'm going to just jump right there. You know, excited like a kid in a cookie candy store. Everyone, I would like you to do that. This is not a training on its own. It's not a radio program. It's a discussion. And it's the best way to discuss by asking questions. Don't forget, questions, asking questions. I've shared something about how much I've learned and how much I've gotten in the last week. Just asking people questions, asking for help. So good for me. Character is like people have defined also who you are when no one is there, you know, and also for me, it's what you hold as your values personally. It's not what someone else said about you. It's not what people just want you to be like, but it's not what you dream to be, but it's exactly what you are at that time. And character is yourself inside you. It's what helps to determine what you say yes to, what you say no to, what you go for, and especially the values that help you in setting goals, the basis of your own goals. I believe that that's character for me.
Does anybody have any other definition? I mean, now I'm not talking about the dictionary definition. When you hear the word, and that's how you start to kind of unpack anything for yourself. The first question you want to ask is, okay, so when I hear the word character, what goes through my mind? What comes to my mind? Just like when you hear the word money, what comes to my mind? I don't want you necessarily, it's not a right or wrong answer, because I would say this, the way you see things is the way you see things. It's not right or wrong, just the way you see it. Someone else might see the same thing from a different perspective, which might not be right or wrong itself. Now, when you now measure what you're seeing by the values that you carry or by the tenets of your belief, then you can see this is not a good thing to hold on to in terms of my character, or this is a good thing to hold on to in terms of my character. But we want to see how character connects with money. How does character connect? Coach Bibi said it is who you are when no one else is looking. So let me ask you this question. Are you impressed with who you are when no one else is looking? Yes or no? You could type, go ahead and type that. Yes, I'm happy with who I am when no one else is looking. When I'm all alone, nobody else is looking, nobody else is listening. I'm happy with who I am. Hey, listen, no, I'm not. I need a bit of improvement in that area. But go ahead and let me hear you. I'm happy with who I am when no one else is looking. I say yes for Mish. Thank you very much. Who else? Please, we all have to be a part of this conversation. I'm happy to a large extent, but want to be better. Okay, good. All right, so you're happy, but you want to be better. That's right. Are you impressed, happy with who you are? Thank you for Favor for just knocking that out for us. So are you happy with who you are when no one else is watching? So it's just you alone. if you say yes, I'm going to ask another question. So you guys are trying to use semantics by telling me there's room for improvement or that, yes, but I want to. You are either yes or no. So if you say yes, it means where you are now, bam, that's it, you're good. Everybody has room to grow, to move. So we will not contend if you would improve or increase. We will all do that. But right now, because it is the dissatisfaction of now that makes you want to get better. As long as you're saying, yes, I'm okay, getting better will be a lot challenging for you. I see that Natalia has a question. Go ahead and ask your question, please.
Natalia, go ahead.
She said, yes, is paralytic.
Okay.
Okay, so what? So explain. What do you mean?
Unmute yourself now. Unmute yourself and explain. We need to find out what's paralytic about it.
Okay. Well, I had to use paralytic because coach said is either yes or no. So I didn't want to say partially, so I had to use that word paralytic. Okay. There are times when I'm very proud of who I am. I'm excited. I'm so happy about it. And there are other times when I said, Natalia, no. This is, and I get myself to that place where I want to condemn myself because I've made one or two mistakes I'm not proud of. And sometimes that could be when I get angry and I say something to someone that hurts them. So what I've tried to do over time is, rather than say those things, because no matter how sorry you are, those words may still resound for a long time in the minds of those people who may not be able to, look over it. So what I do when I'm angry or pissed off, I just walk away or just keep quiet. I just go silent, and it has actually helped me. So when I lose it and I say anything, I take responsibility for it. So that's why I said sometimes when I'm alone, like you always say, the character of a person is who you really are, whether somebody's watching you or not. So it has to be something that is constant at all times. You are human and we make mistakes, but that does not necessarily define us. It's when it becomes constant, you're not even making. By the time 1, 2, 3 people complain about it, especially those who stay with you or around you, then it means something is wrong, because even if 1 or 2 people may have said something in a malicious way, everybody can be wrong about you. So I'm a product of grace. I would say that. I'm much better now compared to some years back, because I allowed some things within my surrounding to affect me. So I began to live the other way that it's not me. So, but like I always say, thank God for the pandemic. It was a moment of reflection for me and finding myself. And I would say that I'm very proud of Natalia I have become over time. And a lot of people have actually come to testify that this is a better Natalia. Someone saw me and said, Natalia, so you can laugh again. You are a soldier of fire and bomber. Who tamed you? I said, thank God for Jesus. That was how I said it. And it wasn't just me saying it now, because a lot of people could testify to, even my family, my immediate family. If you call my husband, because he just came in and said, what are you doing? I said, I'm in a meeting. And I said, I would like him to come. So maybe one of the days he comes, you might want to ask him. He would testify, because I did not spare him in those days. But thank God for Jesus. He looked at me recently. I said, I'm so proud of who you have become. This is the woman I married. And I said, oh, serious, So, but, that statement alone really had a lot impact on me. And things have become much better. One day, I hope to share my story, and you understand how graced I am. Thank you.
Natalia, you're welcome. And you took the word right out of my mouth, because after you spoke for about a minute or two, I was like, I think it's one of these days we're going to get to really sit down and hear your story, because a lot of times when people see where we are, they don't understand the struggles that we've had to get there. They don't understand the things that we have to say no to and yes to get there. So yes, we're going to have a date. We'll work that out and see how we can get you to share. Now, if you're just joining us, thank you for tuning in to Nuggets for a Successful Life. We're talking about the word character. We've defined that as the person you are when no one else is looking. And that's what we're trying to piece together. And we now went in to ask, okay, so the person that you are when no one else is looking, are you happy with that person as of today? It's either yes or no. And we've not asked why your yes or no is. We just want to kind of sit down on that fact, because a lot of times we say this, I'm sure you've heard this before, that they say money is an amplifier. And I'm sure you all know what that means. If you don't, I'll break it down a bit. Money would shout loud what you already are. Money would make obvious what you already are. If you put money in the hand of a drunkard, he's going to drink or she drink and drink and drink. You put money into the hand of a clubber, that's what they will club. Take someone that loves car, all they will do is buy car. So money really brings out your true nature, which is your character, which is what we're talking about now. Now, I'm not going to go yet into how do you form or not form, how do you create or not create character. I'll leave that for another discussion. But I want us to get into that comfortable state of the fact that if I look at my character, if I can understand my character, I would understand how I would handle money, whether it's one or it's million or it's billion. You need to understand that relationship between you and because a lot of times I was saying this to the team. I said a lot of times there is a psychology to money. Money is not just paper. Paper is the way you transact, but money is more than that. And when you understand how that works, because I asked the question, I said, what's your money language when it comes to money for you? Now, I'm not a financial person per se, so I would not be giving you financial, but don't worry, we'll get a few great minds on the program this month who would kind of break down. There's someone that I want you to listen to. I asked him a question. I said, with all that you know now, and this guy is sound financial when it comes to finance, investment and wealth creation. So I said to him, if you know all that you know now and you wanted to start your life today, what would you do? That's what I wanted to come and share on the program. So fasten your seatbelt, don't make it too tight this month of August. We're going to have him come and share that with us. But going back to the fact that my character is amplified by money, what's my psychology? What's my language? When I think of money, what do I think of? I'm not good enough to have. I have to struggle to have it. I have to work hard. I have to hold 2-3 jobs. I have to do like 50, 60 of this. I have to multitask before I can make money, or I can have money. People don't give me money. People don't just give me money. You should start living in the realm where people just look at, yeah, take and give you $1 million, $1 million, whatever. You have to understand that when we talked about 5, was it 5? Because was it 5 laws we talked about money? Looking at the fact that you need to
5 laws of gold.
That's what you need to understand how money works, because once you do, all you need to do is just plant yourself in the path. It will hit you. Money, they say, is the default of service. Someone asked me some time ago, he said, Coach, you're always, every Sunday, come rain, come snow, you would come on Sunday and just help people navigate through their life's journey. You get, what are you not, is it not expensive? I said, no, when you are bringing value to people, it's not. Someone told me over the week and said, Coach Alikan, you wouldn't know how much your program has really, really helped me. And all the hair on my body does the tung. And it was as if if I was to die then, I would have died a happy man. Why? It's the impact that you have. It's the impact. Now, when I say impact, it's impact beyond my wife and my daughter, impact beyond even the friends that know me, impact on the people that will know you tomorrow. Because you're a man of value, and that value, we said, comes from the tenets of your character. So you see how they all come together. I don't look at people with dollar signs on their head. I look at people as valuable. So I'm thinking, what is one thing? If I was doing this, started this a long time ago. If I meet you for the first time, the first thing that comes to mind is, what can I do to help you move ahead exponentially? That's what I'm thinking. So I'm asking you questions, and what's your life like? What's your background like? What have you like? What have you like? What goals you have? Because once I know what they are, I know how I can help. I know what material I can say. Hey, listen, why don't you take this? That's how I see people. I see people with that same value that God would see people. Listen, every human life is priceless. There's no price that you can put on a human life. And you need to understand, yes, some people would throw, I have a nugget that I usually share. It's in you to share your message or your voice with everyone that you meet. Now, some people will take it, some people will not. Let them be the ones who get to decide what they want to do with it. But you can't be selfish with it. It's grace on you. You can't be selfish with grace. Grace is not for you. Grace is for the people that you're going to come in contact with. So if your character is not the way you want it to be, you should start asking yourself some questions. Because most times we pick up things along the way, and if you would do a heart search or a soul search, you will find out, oh, I think I added this to my character. It doesn't seem to be me. So your character is an expression of you. It's just me, Anika, expressing myself. And if you've watched any of Nuggets, you would have caught how I express myself. You are a bundle of success. So what your character would do for you in the days ahead would also amount to what level of resources you would manage, you would direct, you would be in control of. Because there's no scarcity of resources on the earth. I know people say that, don't mind them, they don't have a jack clue of what's happening. I can tell you that the bananas that fall in the Amazon, monkeys are not enough to eat them. Bananas that fall. So there's never been a scarcity of resources. Sometimes humans just put themselves in certain path so that they give you the impression they don't want you to get there. Some people get to the top and they don't want anybody else to get there. That's not the kind of people that will stay on the top for a long time. There's room there, so you want to help as many people to get there. So everyone on this call, if at the end of this week or the start of this week, you start to get your character in shape, it would also shape the way you view money. And that's my next question. When it comes to money, how do you view money? Some people view it as never having enough, no matter what they do, never having enough. Some people view it as, I have more than enough, I don't even know what to do with it as it is. What's your language around money? How do you view money? And when I ask questions and shut my mouth, that means I'm expecting an answer. How do you view money? Or some of us will call it ego, or owo, or kudi. How do you view money? I like that. Yes. What's your money language? Mitch, you want to say something? How do you view money?
Yes, I'll put in my 2 cents. Okay.
All right, 2
So-
cents, money.
So here's my 2 cents. How I view money, as in, I do have it, but it's not enough for me to do what I need to do or what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? The two ends, like, you know,
Okay.
for my purpose, and then part of it is for, you know, leisurely things, if that makes any
Okay.
sense.
Okay. So you're looking at it from a not enough perspective, correct? To do what you
Yes,
want to
sir.
do. Okay.
Yes.
Who else is in that boat? Who else is in that particular perception? Go ahead. Just if you can't, your video maybe can't, you can type yes. I'm also in that same boat as well. Let me know who else is in that same boat. Anybody else? Okay, so nobody else is in that same boat. All of you have
I
more
think
than-
it's because I'm the one that's sinking in the deep end all by myself. That's why. All by my lonesome
Coach.
self.
I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people might be in
I
that, but
unmuted.
maybe they're just taking time to chat. So, Sisi Favor, go ahead, please.
Okay, good evening. Thank you, Coach. I'll say that my money language is a bit different from others. I believe money is important, but a long time ago, I got to realize that money would not answer a lot of things. That's the truth. So relationship is key, values. Money is important, but so if I have it, I'm fine. If I don't have it, I'm fine. And somehow, if I don't have it, I survive favors. I just survive by God's grace. That is my own testimony. That is my own money language. It's important, but I will not kill for it. I will not compromise my position for it. I love it. I would like to have it. I don't have enough, but it doesn't solve every problem. Thank you.
Okay. And
All right.
Natalia, say yeah, Johanna.
Okay, Natalie.
Yes. Okay, for me, money is not a do or die affair. And like
Okay.
the last speaker said, that's all about culture, values. Now, my dad from the onset, you know, denied us a lot of things. At first, we felt he was just being mean. Why would he deny us when he could provide these things for us? So, and his language was always, I don't believe in big manism. He liked to put it that way. Everything, I don't believe in big manism. So we'll see our dad helping other people, but he always provided everything for us in the house. We were comfortable, but we wanted, you know, more. But he always said, I don't believe in big manism. And because of that, as we journey through life, we were trained in our family to be content. And one of his slogans again is that if it pleases the Lord, you will get more. If not, be happy where you are. And so that really helped us through, like my siblings and I. We're not greedy for what we can afford. So if God blesses us more, we're happy. And if not, we'll make the best of the opportunity where we are. So looking back today, my father died 5 years ago. And looking back today, I'm grateful he instilled that discipline in us. And that's what I try to also impart in the life of my children. Don't be greedy. Be satisfied with what you have. And if it pleases the Lord, he will bless you more. Life does, having more doesn't mean you're going to be happy at all times. So be happy and content with what you have. So if you have more, fine. If you don't, rejoice and be happy. That's how my outlook in life is. There are times my account is zero. I don't bother because I know I have a God that will provide. So that's how I was raised, and it had that impact on me. Thank you.
My good friend,
Okay,
thank you very much, Natalia. Did you see that, Coach Bibi, what Dr. Yebola said?
Yeah, let me just check
And
that. Yeah, it
He
says
said
it's all about stewardship.
it's all about stewardship.
Yeah.
How are you
So
able to steward money?
For me, my thought of money, you know, funny enough, my parents were civil servants, you know, and they never really had so much of it. They never had enough of it. My dad would tell us sometimes what he earns. and compared to what my project in school or my sister's project was. But we grew up realizing it was doing its best for us. So one way or the other, all of us in my family, in different degrees, seem to understand that money was not everything. The goodwill was there, the favors you do for people were there, but money was not everything. But I turned to business. My sister's an accountant in the corporate world. And she's quite rich for a level of what she does. But she won't sell anything to make anything. She won't sell unless you're forcing her. But I believe in business. And at first, my dad would ask me questions about money, like saying, I hope you don't have any problem with money with anyone. And I would say no, because that's the basis of it. But as I grew, I realized that it was not just enough for me to not want to do evil because of money. I have to also learn how to do good because of money. So for me, I've written out a few things quickly. I think money is very important. I think it's very important in life, as long as we're on this face of this earth. I think it's answered to all things, as the Bible says, and there's a meaning to that. I also think that I believe that I can make much more money than I have all my life. I believe at any point in time, if I can unlock another door, another secret, another way, I could do much more than I've ever done with money. I could make much more. Just that I also believe you should have a good reason for making more money. Because the more money you make seems to come with some form of challenges, some form of posterity asking you for certain things. The more money you make, I believe that money is a means to an end, not an end in itself. I believe money is a means to an end, but not an end in itself. I believe money is meant for a mission and a vision, like Dr. O said, stewardship. I believe money is meant for something. It's meant to be used to help people, to help humanity, to touch lives, to help people listen to the word of God, to help people see you and want to hear what you bring on board because of what you've made of money or what you've spent money out to do. I believe I can and I should, do whatever is in my ability to make more money. I believe I should. And I also believe that as I learn how to make money, I should teach others. I don't think wealth in itself is meant for a small group of people. I don't think so. I think across board, wealth is more than money, truly. But money being seen as one of the major things in wealth. I think money is not meant for just a group of people. I think it's just meant to be given to people who have the right understanding of how it's to be used. Like we said, it's not evil, it's not good. It's in the hands of whoever it is. If the person is good or evil, then the money becomes good or evil. So I believe I have to learn more about money, how to learn how to make more of it, and how to learn how to invest it and what God wants me to do with it. That's in short. That's what I think of money.
Okay, so this is my takeaway. So this is the thing that I heard loudly. I have to learn how, back to stewardship. Because when you understand, someone said, I think Pastor Benji said that the person that knows how will keep doing it, but the person that knows why will rule over the person that knows how. I threw a question in the chat because you mentioned the fact that money comes for a specific thing. A lot of times you'll see when you're looking at Proverbs, it says the money for, and part of it, the hair is for this, the milk is for this. It's telling you what it's for. A lot of times, not understanding that is what makes us sick. You could have been wealthier than you are today, except for the way that you managed the resources of the money that came to you some years ago. Whether wise or not wise is irrelevant. It's a new day, so you can start a new lease of life. But Coach Baby said that it comes to aid a vision and a mission. So this is my question. If I have not yet discovered my vision or my purpose or my mission, why do I need money? Why should money come to me when I've not discovered the purpose for money? Because when money comes, you spend, you would use it, you would buy this, you will do this, you will do that. It's an enabler. It enables you to do a lot. It's a resource. You can reach more people, you can, influence more people, you can impact more people. It's all, yeah, but do you have a clear-cut vision for your life? A clear-cut mission? When you wake up tomorrow morning, you know what the vision of your life is. You know what the mission of your life is. And just like we talked about purpose, it's not some hidden secret that you have to do some hocus pocus to get to. Everything I'm asking you is in you now. It's not going to be you tomorrow. It's in you now. The more you let the light of it shine, the brighter it gets as the days go by. So the clearer it gets. What's your vision? Bob, it's to do this. What's your mission? Bob, it's to enable this. Once you get clear with that, so I want you to understand how we're connecting this. Your purpose, your character. Now we're talking of your vision and your mission, how you go about establishing your vision based on or engineered, or should I say driven by your character. So it's key that it's not just a play of words, it's key that you understand how this works. But I always like to say this, it's not some rocket science. So don't think you have to tumble and do anything wild to find out what they are. You just need to be quiet with yourself, get a quiet place, get a pen. That sometimes I want to plot a new direction for something. I just get a quiet place, sit down there with a pen and paper, and I just write everything that comes to my mind. I don't evaluate them. I don't, check them. Can I do this? No, this is too much. People like me don't do this. People like me don't have this as it is. Because back to what I said, there's an abundance of resources. There's never been a scarcity of resources. There's always an abundance. And you don't have to kill somebody else to get it. You don't have to rob somebody else to get it. You don't have to displace someone else per se to get it. There's room at the top. So there's enough for all of us here and many more to be able to do the things that is in our heart. The problem, the challenge I've found out is that thing in our heart is not always as clear as it is to command the resources that you need to do them. So just like what Bibi said, I guess it is time you began to learn a bit more, unlearn a bit more, so that you can understand this thing, this tool they call money, this resource they call money. And as Coach Bibi and Natalia had mentioned, there are other things, and Favor I think said it as well. There are other things that come alongside with that. And there is a good name. The reason is because so many crazy things that are happening in the world now, if you look at it, it's money driven. Because someone wanted money, so he did this. Because he wanted money, he did that. Why? Because it's a driving force. So it's important to have money, but your money must be answering something, not just for having sake. I know sometimes from the kind of background we come from, we want to kind of, show up, I have the big house and the big car and the bling bling, as much as those things sound, they don't have value. There's no depth in it. If I know someone here whose money that comes to her is going to fund less privileged people, it's going to do something that is impacting somebody else. So it's not just them, you see, and that's why if tomorrow I hear that those people are multi-billionaires, I won't be surprised, because there's no way that you can water others or you can be a part of what's happening to the growth of others and then you don't grow. You will grow, and the more resources to do more will come to you. So the learning part, the preparation part is very, very key. That's what we do on this program. We come and we sit around, I call it the table, and we talk. I know some of us listen more than we talk, but we talk. We're not afraid to talk about money. We're not afraid. Dr. Oyebola, please go ahead. Go ahead and unmute yourself, sir. Just go ahead and share your thoughts.
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Very, very interesting discussion today. I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but sorry, I just want to mute my TV so I don't. I don't know about you guys, but as I get older, one thing that keeps coming to my mind is the word legacy. You know, and I ask myself the question, if you have more money, number one, how much is enough? Because you want more, how much is enough? If you have $1 billion today, the billionaires want more of what they have. Number one. Number two, what are you going to do with it? Because you're not going to take the money you have with you when you die. And the book of Songs of Ecclesiastes says one of the things that it causes a vexation of spirit is that a man works hard, amasses wealth, he dies, and he doesn't know what the next man coming behind him will do with the money he worked so hard for. So wow. Solomon called it a vexation of the spirit, a maddening experience. How could you work so hard for and get all this money, amass it, and then you build, you get all this money, and then you die, and then the person who inherits it squanders it. Number three, I think, again, going back to my first point, we should start thinking about, how do I leave a legacy? Listen, in my country, Nigeria, from where most of us are from on this platform, there are many people who have money. A lot of them they got it from ill-gotten wealth. Maybe they stole it. Some people not necessarily, maybe they inherited it. Some people worked for it. But I love what our sister said about big money. There's nothing in your life that is affecting any other person apart from what you've amassed and what you can show off with the money you've made. And so I look at people, when I drive around town where I live, I look at hospitals with people's names on it. People who donated schools, hospitals, who built homeless shelters. You know, a dream my wife and I have is, God, if you bless us enough, we want to open a kitchen for the homeless. That's our personal dream, where we can get a spot, maybe somewhere downtown, and have a kitchen where homeless people come in and have free meals. Just come in, lunch, dinner, breakfast, hot meal for anyone who needs food to eat. And if that's something we can do, God can give us the resources for, we are pleased with that. So I want us to start thinking, number one, how much more money do you really need that will make you happy? Number two, if God gives you resources, it's about leaving a legacy behind. Because you ain't taking a dime with you. You can only ride one car at a time. You can only sleep on one bed at a time. Some people have gold toilets in their house. Yep, whether you have a gold toilet or you have a ceramic toilet, we are still doing the same thing on the toilet. So we must be careful. The love of money is the root of all evils. So you can have money, don't let money have you. You know, it's a good thing to have, but when you come in contact with money, always remember that how can I be a blessing to somebody? And think about your legacy. when you are no longer here, will people remember you? Will they talk about you? Your money can be influential even after you are gone from this place. If you have enough money to build a hospital, a shelter for somebody, do it. Because after long you're gone, your name, your legacy is still intact because you used what God gave you to be a blessing to other people. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. And I will just quickly throw in something here. One day I was talking to a man, slightly older than me, and I was taking up a property from him. He was the agent in that property. We were buying that property. And he was telling me, oh, you know, this business of theirs. I started talking about life. And he said, look, when he was quite young, he got a sale and he made some millions of naira. I can't remember the exact figure. So, but that time it was enough for him to do something like could have gone into investments. But do I know the first thing he did? I said, what's that? He said, I went to buy a car. He mentioned the cost of the car, whether 1.5 million or 3 million or something, or 2 point something million. And then he spent the rest of the money to do the jubilation and bought drinks and bought wine for his friends. I said, well, it's not too bad. You had a car. He said, no. So that was not the problem. The problem was that down the line, about a month or 3 months after, he had a terrible accident with that car. And he was in the hospital for almost a year. He said God just saved him. And that now he has learned better because if he had bought a building then, being an agent, he knew the buildings are on distressed sales and all that. He said he would have made much more money. But thank God he has learned that the house is staying in that estate is his own now. You know, and I hear the stories repeat themselves. What do we know about money? How do we know to invest it? I've also made some mistakes about investing. I've had the opportunity of quadrupling what I had in savings twice and I didn't take it. I'd have probably just not wanted to be disloyal to something or thought I was helping my country by not doing that. Or just saying, look, I don't understand the risk, I can't take it. But like Coach said, it's never too late. I'm still having that desire in me to want very soon to be able to say, look, I can teach you how to use money. I want to learn that and I want to still do it. But while we are at it, like we read today, what do we sacrifice for it? And that's where the character question comes in. What would you be willing to sacrifice in your values just to get money? And the other side of the question is this. After you get that money, if you do, if there's nothing worthwhile to do with it, it becomes a wasted effort. And Coach has the question says, if you have not found your purpose, your calling, your mission in life, why would you want to have more money? What would you do when you have more money? The story is there. The evidence is there. Check most of the superstars, the celebs. I think Justin Bieber is now doing gospel songs after making millions of dollars and probably almost killing himself with it. A lot of people have died because they made money. Not that the money killed them, but what they use the money for, the drugs, killed them. Believe me, if they didn't have that money, they might not go into some of those vices. They might not be able to expand on some of those vices. So I think as we look at that money matter, it's very cogent that we are looking at character first, because that becomes the pedestal in which we find and place our callings. We also find a mission for that money. I also have a feeling that when we even pray to God for money, if you go through the scriptures and look at it, that story of the talent, there's an assignment, tied to how much more you get with what you've done, with the little you have first. So let's continue to have this in our mind. It's not enough to just say you want money. What are you going to do with it? Pastor Ebola said, what's the legacy? What do you do after you go? That was a big man in Nigeria. It was called Moshood Abiola, MKO. His name is actually supposed to be a normal name, MKO Abiola. Moshood Hashimawo Olambiwonu Abiola. But funny enough, people made that name an acronym and said money, Ubi, Owu, Abiola. That guy was everything about the epitome of wealth in Nigeria then. He died suddenly. And after that, I have one of the houses is in my town, because it's from my town. The presidential villa was built and ready to become president of Nigeria. At the point, I think it was a madman that was staying in the place, it was abandoned. His children are still there, but who knows much about him anymore. I have friends, my own mates, who told me he wanted to marry them at tender ages, maybe 14, 15, and some that he married. Let us do that. But what I'm saying is, how rich you are doesn't matter. What matters is what you become after all of that. And when you leave this terrestrial divide, what happens? Thank you.
So I hear that it doesn't matter what you have. There's a payday. There is a day of when I cannot give account. And it's pretty sad that we can talk about some people who were as wealthy as that, but we look now and there's nothing we can hold except the name. And that's what Dr. Ebola was talking about, leaving a legacy. Interestingly, I'm going to drop this and then we would, for the next, I think we have like 9 more minutes, but I want everyone who has not said anything to unmute yourself and just tell us what your legacy of money is, or what your money language is. You can say, hey, I agree that money is important, but I want everyone, and I want to take at least 20 seconds so that and I see your name so that I can have everyone say something before we round up. So go ahead. Now, I noticed also that even though some of us know everybody else, still go ahead and introduce yourself so that someone else who heard you can know who is talking. Go ahead, please.
Okay, let me start off.
Okay.
Good evening from Nigeria. This is Dr. Dr. Omo. For me, my legacy that has to do with money. Money is always in short supply. And I've always thought, based on my upbringing, that I don't deserve to have so much money. But gradually, before I joined this coaching crew, I had begun to try to expand my view on it, and I'm still working on it. Money is very important. It's not everything really, but I need a lot of it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, hi. My name is Henry Bassi.
The brand guru. The brand guru.
I listened to all the brilliant points made, and I was just laughing in my head because I don't know where it came from, but there's something I once read somewhere. It says, yes, you might say money is not important, but make sure you have a lot of it first before you say it is not important. So money from my perspective is important. I think that character is critical because money shows off who you are really deep down. So you might be forming humble now. And when $1 billion hits your account, we will know if you are really humble. You know, that's the kind of spirit behind money, which is why the Bible talks of the love of money, because it possesses you. And I think someone said, don't let it have you, have it. So I mean, in a just to keep it short, because everyone needs to speak, it's important, and it also needs to be laced with a strong character. Most people who bungle it because of the character issues. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you very much. Who else? I don't want to call your name. I know you know yourself, and so just unmute and say something. It doesn't matter whether it's what's your money language.
We've not heard from Mr. Bode. We've not heard from Grace.
Okay, I think Grace. Yeah, Grace is about to say something. Go ahead.
Right.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Grace from Nigeria. Okay, for me, money is necessary. And as much as I can, I will work legitimately to make as much money as I can. However, I will not go out of my way to compromise values or to do things out of place just because I want to make money. No, I would not do that. And I desire to have money, but sincerely not as much as I become all known all over the place because I have a lot of money. I think I'd rather do some other things and just work to make as much as would be necessary, really. And then I also see money as a messenger. Like someone just said, money answers all things. I would make my money work for me, but would definitely not go out of my way to make money. That's the bit I have to say.
Thank you. Who else? Who else? Time is running up, so let's hear you quickly, and then before we call it off.
Hi,
All
good
right.
evening.
Okay.
All right, go on, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, we can.
All right. My name is Sharif Hussein from Nigeria, Bayelsa to be particular. Well, money, most times when I listen to people say money is everything, money is this, money is that, I see some sense in it. But as a person, I don't know. Most times I get quickly satisfied with money once I can meet my basics. So I don't know. It's like I wouldn't want to call it a problem, but I think no matter what, I get very satisfied so quickly, so long as I meet my needs. So I don't see what will push me into, that craze for money. And at some point that I've been able to have certain things, that I've been able to have money a little beyond, what I need. I also see that I'm able to extend it. So I just look at it that way. I don't know how to define myself with money, but that's just how it's been all my life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Samuel, go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Right, good evening, sir. Samuel Rena from Nigeria. Yeah, money for me, money is a tool. For me, it's a tool to just take you through, I think, 2 series of experience, like you really wish to experience, before you go. And it's also to help people. But I also have a question. I don't know if I can go on to the question.
What's your question?
Yeah, there was this day, I think last week I was in church, and they were like, oh, 2021 is almost gone and 2022 is already here. So, something just went on through my mind that, okay, what 2021 is gone? Apart from my goals and what really matters? Because I just find that, okay, life is going and time is just going by. It's never stopping. So I don't know what really matters. Is what really matters? Is it linked with our purpose? Or I don't know what really matters, because it seems to me that sometimes even my goals does not really matter, because there's always some other goal that I could have chased. So that's the question.
Okay, now that's a multifaceted question, and it will take us a whole lot of time to diagnose it. So there's one response I can say. It's either get on with us on the group coaching, and then we'll go to kind of piece that apart for you. But it starts with you. It also ends with you. So if you have a goal to do this, and then after a while you look at it and say, this is not worth a goal anymore. You have made that decision. Nobody else can do that for you. Now, I always believe you have a goal, finish it. Finish the goal. Don't let anything, because everything will come and tell you that's rubbish. Finish the goal first. But as I said, we can dig into that, because I would want to also ask you a few questions to understand a few things even deeper. And then we can now go ahead from there. Now we're like 1 minute above our time. I want to apologize for that. But obviously it's been a discussion that we all want to be a part of. Not because someone is telling you something, but because you're also free to say, this is how I see it. And if you noticed, even when Prince spoke, or Natalia spoke, or Favor spoke, or Dr. Yebola spoke, or Mish spoke, or Henry spoke, we're not here to correct your thought about money. We're here to break that fallow ground so that you can see money from a bigger perspective and see what more you can do with it so that more of it can come to you. And we're going to continue with this trend of discussion for the whole of August. We will bring people that will talk to us a bit about money. Now, remember that money is good, but your health is wealth. So we're going to be looking at those two things as well. So all the money you're trying to get doesn't negate the fact that you still need to come in alignment with your health has to be in place. So thank you for tuning in. I see a few people that have gone ahead to join us. I want to say thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a part of the program. And as we go on, open up, you can be more comfortable to engage in the conversation. And you know what our email is. If you look at any of the invites, if you have a question and you don't want to be, or maybe you can't be a part of the group coaching section, which comes up immediately after this program for 45 minutes max, then you can always send your question to us. We will be very glad to go ahead and help out. Anywhere we can help, we would help. All you just need to do is to ask. Even if you don't know what you're asking, when you ask, we can help you make sense of what you're asking so that you can now see value. Because you have a genuine question or genuine need. If we can help, let us help. So thank you very much for everyone that has tuned in. I want to say, have a lovely week. Money is a tool. Don't slave it. Someone said, don't let it own you, you own it. And we will see you again, same time next week, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's 7 p.m. in Lagos, Nigeria. It's also 7 p.m. in UK as well. We'll see you. And until then, have yourself a wonderful week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.